All right. We should all be good to go. Let me just make sure. I'm gonna tweet this out, but I'll see what I can bring on my own. Just coming back really fast. Um, Audio's good, so we're all good there. How you guys doing, dude? It feels like I've been gone for like a year, man. I haven't watched an Xfinity Series race live in like 3 weeks. Clearly out of town last weekend. Didn't do any videos this week because it was Sonoma. What am I gonna do? Like, oh, you want to focus on guys are gonna be fast up front and whatever place differential shows up and stuff like that. So, I mean, Cup Series qualifying starts in an hour. But we're mainly just gonna. I mean, I'm just gonna sit and chill and talk about Xfinity here. Let me go ahead and bring this up on the screen so or you guys can go ahead and see it if you haven't already. Actually, just a little screen there. So this is kind of where everybody lines up. Yet again, thank you AD for him pulling this stuff. His data is way better for road courses versus me doing my average stuff. I went ahead and removed anybody over a minute 30. So you see that we got like Weatherman at like his minute 29 second and stuff like that. But anybody any lap time over 190 I took out, and I probably could have been more aggressive and done probably 120, which maybe we can do that and we'll see things possibly change. If not, or maybe we won't do that. But anyway, that's mainly what I'm looking at. It is just insane how much faster SVG is on most of these runs compared to the rest of the field. I mean, it's wicked. He's like right at 115s, like straight across the board, and all his Q today basically run 115s. You see everybody else running 116s, 117s, 118s. I mean, it's wild how fast SVG is, and probably should have been just like like clearly he's like better than AJ. Like duh. I was probably like you know, brainwashed in my head of like, yeah, dude, AJ's the best road course racer in NASCAR. And then I'm like, well, duh, no, it's SVG out of the fucking supercar series running courses like this. Secondly, as I kind of wait for people to jump in here and say, hello and all that type of stuff. They finally did what I said. Like, I'm not even mad about the wall in the hairpin. Like that's what I've been saying this whole time. Like, dude, if we're gonna worry about these stupid tires, or we want to worry about these idiots going off the track, just build a goddamn wall. And if they want to cut the course, they're gonna cut the course. Like, I'm actually very happy with the wall and the hairpin. I don't know why, but that made my little heart just get all happy. Two things to note. One, I'm gonna assume. I mean, we got 315. I mean, the main $10 is at 59.49 right now. The $4 we should get another four. We should get another $4. I hope it's a 20 max. Might end up being a 17. I hope we get another $10 one because a real chance that we don't have many more opportunities for the Xfinity Series to possibly have another $10 contest. As I said, that we're right at 6,018, so probably that will probably make a new one, and we'll probably have a new $1. Okay, and so real chance that, just speaking out loud, there is an opportunity for us to probably enter more on this Xfinity Series race than probably other ones moving forward, just due to the late start time, just due to the fact that this will probably fill up soon, et cetera, et cetera. Since we normally have normal morning races and stuff, it's very rare that we get an opportunity for the Xfinity Series to have more contests at this point in the year. So keep that in mind, as I will probably be entering those, doing 20 lines today. So hopefully, like I said, hopefully the new 4 will be like a 20 max and not a 17, so I don't got to cut lines out. But I went ahead and ran all my stuff. Basically, what I'm going to do is I don't even think it's that aggressive. Like when we look at the starting grid here and we're looking at the guys in the back of the field, and like, what about this old decrepit little fella? You know, Forrest said, you waited all this time from Roval to fucking wreck shit. Like it's 1980. Who the hell wrecks? That's insane. That was wild. I was having dinner with somebody yesterday. I was checking the phone. I was like, oh my God. Boris said wrecked down turn 1 into the hill. What is this? Like the early 2000s? I haven't seen somebody wreck like that in years. I'm surprised he didn't just fully commit and flip over, like going up the dirt embankment and stuff. That's wild. That said wreck. That's insane. Almost similar to like when Timmy Hill or JJ Yaley wrecks. You're like, I can't even believe that happened. That was nuts. But when we're looking at this, where I'm at, unlikely SVG doesn't work out unless he blows a tire, mechanical issue, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. What I'm going to try and do for this one specifically is I'm going to try to not be just all in on certain guys. I truly do want to have probably a cap of like 65% of each of these drivers. Specifically, when you look back at the race at Portland, and yet again, I am, quite behind on, or not even quite behind. I mean, I'm caught up now, but I was rewatching all the races and catching up and stuff. And I really hate doing that past doing it live because it's much easier to go through and check news and updates for like, fuckers goofing around, in the middle of the pack and stuff. It's much harder to find that stuff data like 6, 7 days later or whatever. But like Portland race are just as dumb as ever. They're doing the same shit that they do every year in turn. They just missed turn one. They keep wrecking shit. Shout out to Perkins for not holding the brake and taking out fucking Jones. But like it's SVG pretty much on his own. I find it hard to believe he doesn't win this race. When we look at Gibbs, Hill, AJ, Allgaier, and these specific guys here, and this isn't being like, oh, let's go through and talk about all these drivers, but like, oh, if they win, they're going to be out. Like, real chance these guys just kind of maintain their running positions and they're scoring right around mid 40s. Okay, don't really see a real change here. Now I know I know it's 72 laps, 79 laps rather. I know it's 72 laps, but there's a real chance we have Gibbs, Hill, AJ, Jesse Love, even Nemechek, Sam Mayer, all these guys are scoring probably anywhere from like 44 to 39 points. I don't foresee us, especially with just how Sonoma is, they're going to spread out, which is probably a good thing. And I think Portland and Sonoma are very much one-to-one comparisons in terms of if you guys are looking at where guys performed last week. But when we're looking here, like it's going to be very difficult for these guys to even get close to paying off their price tag. Like Love, if he scores like 40, I mean, he's certainly there, but everybody else, if you're scoring mid 40s, you're kind of screwed. Okay. And so I am looking much more at a balanced lineup. Now, I'm running stuff. I want to see if I'm accurate here based on this. But I'm assuming that I'm probably going to be spending a lot of money in the 8, low 9s for a majority of my guys, possibly even the 7K range for like somebody like Jones or, DeBenedetto said start in the back of the field. But I just don't think I'm going to be paying up a lot. And the fact that we have quite a lot of good people in the back of the field, like I get Balicki at 63. I mean, Leland, if we needed, he's at 48. Brad at 52. In the 14 for SS Greenlight Racing, clearly better than anything he's been in. Both Poole and Ellis, 33rd and 34th. I think those individuals right there are pretty much solidifying who you need to be in the value range. And so I'm just waiting for this to end up filling out. Just kind of right off the bat, I'm probably going to now, which was wicked impressive. Almost yet again, I didn't watch the races live. I was just kind of keeping up with, during intermission and stuff. It's like everybody I played last weekend got involved in accidents and crashes and shit. It was wild. But like, I like Riley Herbst starting 15th. I like Parker starting 14th and Alfredo starting 16th, which oddly enough, all those guys ran into issues last weekend. Alfredo blew the tire. And everything. But like, even Weatherman and Partis at these guys when we're here, we don't even have to have SVG lit up, but like, Cole Custer starting 12th. I mean, like when you look at people like Cole Custer, it's very much like, oh yeah, he probably, finishes like 7th, 8th. What is that? I mean, that's like 38, 39 points for Custer. And so like that removes him from the player pool or certain builds unless you're just trying to spread out. But the people that I want to look at would probably be all of these fellas here. Oops. I mean, it's probably these guys, right? And this is probably where we're at. Focusing on this with SVG. I'm guessing that's probably where I'm going to go. We're almost done with this. Okay, cool. My stuff is done. So let me go ahead and look through really fast. Let me move this over here so I can look very quickly. So like, yeah, it's people like SVG. What I'm wanting to look at is how much it's wanting to use guys in the front of the field. Is it wanting me to play some of the guys possibly maintaining their running position like Allgaier, or is it wanting to skip over them? And what's interesting is like if I look at the top 50 lines just really fast, it's not doing that at all. When I look at the top 100, still nothing. Open it up to 500. So when I start looking at like the top 500, I start seeing like 20% of a lot of people starting inside of the top 10. People like Hill, people like Allgaier, people like Sheldon Creed. The reason why I'm saying this out loud and why I haven't looked at the chat yet is just whenever I'm looking through what my potential lines are, and you start looking them, kind of like as an individual level. Like, I mean, I built 5,000. I'm doing this just to look at things. I'm looking at just projected scores. So, like, my top 50 to 100 lineups are not saying that, or to be that aggressive in there. Once you get in like my top 500, that's when it starts, throwing more people up in the top, or like one-offs and stuff. Like, for example, I just want to see how it's using like somebody like Allgaier here. So like Allgaier is pretty much loved outside of like my top like 40 lineups. Past that, it's like, let's get to Allgaier. Let's do that. So anyway, the reason I'm just looking at that and thinking out loud or talking through what I'm seeing here is based on that, and then based on the 20 lines I'm going to play, I'm probably going to have I think I'm going to allocate maybe 40% of my lineups, which is 8 out of 20, to probably try and be aggressive on getting guys starting in the top 15. And then my other 12 would probably be SVG with people like Riley Herbst, Alfredo, the more balanced line. I think that's how I'm probably going to end up building based on my stuff here now that I'm at least getting through and seeing everything. So let me see what you guys are saying. Let me put this back up on the screen there. And actually, let's do like a fun. Let's just see. It'll be 120. So anybody, I don't want to take away. Let's do 82. Anything over 82, I'm going to remove. I just want to see how that changes. If we do remove anything over 82, because we can argue that might, good chance it's removing people stuck in traffic, people who had a really horrific corner somewhere, and everything. And it keeps all the lineups within, that's 122. SVG's running 115. We're like 6 seconds off the leader, so that's not too bad. So let's just go ahead and do that really fast. Anything over 82. Now, this might be aggressive since I've already done anything over 90 seconds, which you might argue that like this might be too aggressive, but I just want to see where all this stuff kind of lines up at once we really start moving shitty lineups or really bad laps. Okay, so I think this is the last 82 here. All right, so if we reorganize that, then I think this would probably be a pretty good. So what changed here? Column left. I just want to see this here. Oops. Let me copy that. Okay, let me go back. Okay, we're there. Okay, so let's see where. Okay, so let's just see where kind of everybody bumped in line and where they changed that. So like we had Shane go from, and more so this is going to matter probably more up top, just see where things are at. It's like that's SVG, it's AJ, where's Gibbs at? Gibbs, so it may have been actually neutering or hurting probably some of the faster guys here. Where's Kligerman at? So like Kligerman has true speed, Hill's pretty good, John, Love, where's Cole at? Sam, kind of just looking at more stuff here. So like that's actually interesting. How far Herbst moves up. What about Sammy? It's so wild that like Williams qualifies so bad. Like what is Williams doing? That's like that just behooves me. Maybe not wrong word. That is just wicked wild. LeBay. I just actually want to go through everybody really fast. Partis, those guys are the same. Perkins, Thomas the Tank Engine, Brad, Green. Interesting. Very, very interesting. Crazy how slow horses. That's nuts. Cool. That's mainly all I want to see. Like, let's check Pool and like Ellis. Ellis is still slow. I didn't even spell his name correctly. So maybe I'm like, well, I don't think I'm being that crazy on Ellis and like Pool. Like, I was giving these guys. Yeah, I gave Pool like, I don't think like 23rd. I don't think that's too crazy for Pool. Now it sucks last week that they both crashed each other. These guys, Ellis both killed, but like Pool at like 20, 23rd, 24th. That isn't crazy. Ellis like 25th, 26th isn't crazy. Where's Balicki at? Interesting. Anywho, I wanted to just kind of see where that was at, kind of where these guys are at. I mean, I very much think this is where we're at. That's why I don't foresee us really moving a ton of positions up top. So that's kind of why I like Jesse Love today. Cheapest guy starting up top with a real chance of maintaining the running position. And then all the other kind of place differentials we highlighted a few minutes ago. Let's go through it, see what you guys are saying really fast. If you guys have anything specific you want me to go over, look at, just let me know. What's going on, Pope? Which, I don't know, man. Single entry for NASCAR. At least, I mean, this is certainly one that'd probably be more open to that with the fact that we don't have many laps and stuff, but still place differential, or not still, but still, I don't know, single entry just isn't as fun for me in NASCAR. Gibbs, SVG, Klickerman, Allgaier. I mean, I'm down for that. I don't, as I said, looking through with where we're at and the drastic differences in speed here, there are real chances here that just raw points work. So if you get like 42 points, 41, I mean, Nemechek's different because he's like cheaper. I'm trying to think of like Nemechek can easily work at like 42 points. It's like a 4.8 value or something. But like even Allgaier at like a 43, Gibbs at 46. Depending on what happens down at the bottom, I don't think that kills you. And so I'm not really concerned about the value that you get from anybody who starts in the top 7. Because the main thing that's going to happen is does the value allow you to get to those raw points? Like if the value doesn't allow you to, and you have like, Allgaier at 43, and then you have like, Riley Herbst scoring like 40 something or whatever, like of course Riley would be the preferred play there. And if the value doesn't come through, well, then it's going to be a very much more balanced build. Whereas if like Pool, Balicki, if like anybody comes through, I think we can very easily work with the raw points that we get from these guys here. I haven't actually done this yet. That is one thing I haven't done. I didn't go through the Portland race yet. The slate rather, just because I have not had the time to do that. I just decided that I would do that Monday. But real quick, I do want to see. It's like, actually, let's just go through. I'm not gonna even pull it. We'll just look through stuff really fast. So, like, clearly, because like I wasn't even watching stuff. I just threw lines in. Clearly, I think all my lines had issues. I know DeBenedetto had issues and stuff. Like I did. So, one of those days you just get destroyed on. But like raw points, SVG's fine, Allgaier's fine, Green showed up, but I'm mainly wanting to just see like Hill's at 39, so raw points. And luckily, like we did just come off of Portland. Let's see, I haven't even looked at who won here. I have not had time to do that. But yeah, I'm not very concerned about the point per dollar of anybody in the top 10 for this race here. So basically, like, as my stuff was saying, like, when I just, I built like my 5,000 lines, or built 5,000 to see, just so I can look through and see where everybody would fall in line in terms of projected lineups and stuff. Certainly top 50 are not loving the, what is it? The raw points from like a Hill and Allgaier and stuff like that. But a vast majority of my higher scoring lines in the top 500 are leaning me towards that. So actually, I might need to be more aggressive than just 8 of my 20 focusing on raw points. Might do the straight half and half. 50 with like focusing on a balanced line and place differential, or 10 rather, and then the other 10 focusing on trying to get just raw points in there, because I really do think that this is a race that it's going to be difficult for a lot of guys in the back to go up through the field. They're going to have to get different due to the stages, or when yellow comes out, or like if somebody wrecks or something like that. But yeah, I like. So let's just kind of talk through stuff. I don't want to finish things, but I do just want to see. I'll do this just with you guys so we can see where we're at. So like we get SVG. Parker, I mainly just wanted to see what the build kind of ends up being here. What we're working with, 75. That's not bad at all. Okay, so real chance. I'll just go extreme. What does this give us? So it's very doable. I used him as a placeholder just to see, but it's very, very doable. We get a lot. So actually, even if you take Love out, I would probably have 3 guys. Actually, looking through this, I don't think you necessarily need to do a balanced lineup. You could probably easily get 3 guys over 9K in your lineup and end up hunting pretty all right with Ellis, Perez, Poole, Weatherman. Where's Balicki at? I don't know if, I'm Balicki. So actually, I don't think as I kind of look through, I don't think I want to necessarily be balanced here. Probably focusing more on like true stars and scrubs line, especially with Smithley allowing me to do that, Leland allowing me to do that. So let me go ahead and, if that's the case, go ahead and isolate these lineups that are pushing over, let's say over 49,000 here. What is that giving me? Okay. Yeah, so as I look at that build, I think you can get different. I'm not concerned about ownership at all, but I think this is a slate that I would probably want all my lineups spending 49,000 or more. And I would actually probably not prefer leaving cash on the table due to the fact that I think these guys can work. Hill, Allgaier, even somebody like Sammy Smith, Creed, whatever, Cole Custer. Like, I think if you have the money, I think it's advantageous to go up and just take, the raw points from these guys, even if it isn't a 5X. So like Smith, both the Smiths, Nemechek, Hill, like if you got, 95 left over as your last guy, I think it's perfectly fine doing that. So actually, I think I might actually just play pretty aggressive in that sense, and maybe not have as much place differential in the 7K range as I thought I would. From like Jones said, like, what happens if we, let me take this back off. I want to view head-to-head lineups that have Jones and or said with compared to this other stuff. So Jones is, so this is what I mean. This is just kind of how I look at it. So like, yet again, I have my 5,000. So Brandon Jones is in my 16th highest line, 17th, 30th, 35th, 40th, 48th, 67th, 82nd, 97th, 99th, 104th, 107, 108, 113, 115, 118, 122. Now, the reason I'm bringing that up is because that build, so as I mentioned, like with Allgaier, like we're going to see a lot of Allgaier in like not probably up top as much, but probably a lot more in like the probably like 49 to like 110th range. Like my highest Allgaier lines, which would not be using somebody like a Brandon Jones or a Boris Said, or possibly like an even more balanced build. So like highest one for Allgaier I have is like 8th, 20th, 22nd, 25th. Okay. 34th, 37th, 39th, 40th, 42nd, 43rd, 44th, 45th, 48th, 52nd, 76, 77, 78, 87, 94, 95, 96. And so possibly a balanced lineup would, and I don't think I have my Jones that horrible. I got Brandon Jones for 35 today, which based on how bad Jones is and how he's almost always a place differential at road courses, I don't think that's terrible projection. What is set at? So I got set for 36. Let's compare his balanced builds. 7th, 19th, 25th, 33rd, 35th, 49th, 54th, 55th, 67, 62nd, 63rd, 65th, 72, 74, 101, 112, 117, 132, 135. So the reason I'm just saying that is like we see, or at least I see, that there are a lot more balanced builds in my upper echelon of lineups. Who is, dude, I'm getting bombarded. What is going on here? I got like 17 people texting me right now. What was I saying? Yeah, so I think I'm going to be much more aggressive on playing guys up front in this race than probably normal. Move this back, that back. Let's see what you guys are saying here in the chat. If you had the Slayer shirt on, yeah, dude, I wore Slayer shirt in one of these in one of the things. I think it was before I left. I did a live show with a Slayer shirt on. At least I'm pretty sure I did. I could be wrong. It's been a long time. I'm pretty sure I did because I even mentioned like I put the Slayer shirt on, and Michael isn't here, mate. So I mean, maybe I did put it on, or I feel like I did it just for you, Michael. Could be wrong. Balicki, I like Balicki. I mean, he's in the 92. So yet again, it was hard. What did Balicki do last week? Finished 12th. So like, I mean, that was in a JGR car. Not saying 92 is that, but certainly better than a lot of crap Balicki had been before. And he's done a lot of stuff with the JDM guys before. Balicki starting in the backfield. I love Balicki. Like I mean, I've already I know this comment is late, but probably my favorite value plays are Balicki, Weatherman, Poole, Ellis, and Smithley. So I'll probably have one of those 5 in each of those lines, possibly 2 if I'm building up, if I'm pilling up so much, or if I'm paying up so much for people. Like that's probably that is probably the area I will probably have the most exposure to outside of SVG. It'd be SVG, and then whatever value plays my stuff ends up liking. It's most likely going to be dependent on what their salary is, just to fit in everybody else. But those are probably the 5 value plays I'm going to use the most of. Thank you, Alexander. I had a great time in Dallas. Had a great time at IEM 2024 Dallas, or the 100th IEM. I got a ton of stuff. I got a gold coin I got to put next to my gold kiss ticket over there. If I didn't have to unlock everything, I'd show you the ticket. I've had it there for a while, dude. It's a 24 karat gold plated ticket. It's like my like out of all the stupid shit in my room, that stupid kiss ticket is like my prized possession. I'm so happy I got that thing. Now I got a CS2 coin to go with it. But yeah, I had a great time, Alexander. Between Creed and Parker Kligerman, I mean, heads up, I think you take Kligerman. Starting farther back, 9,000 versus the 500 more for Creed. I mean, this is where it's gonna. So also, secondly, let's just kind of look through real fast here. Man, I got fucking crushed. I was so pissed off at League this morning. What am I looking for? I might have to go back 7. Actually, let's say Thursday. I'm going to need 7. Let's go back and look at this. Let's go back and look at the Xfinity series. Which one? I just want to see. I'm going to assume scoring was very, very close here. So 73. Did we didn't fill 16. Okay. So let's see, 16, 51. Scoring is very, very tight. Is there going to be a runaway? Oh man, there wasn't one. What a line! What a runaway to have a 12-point lead on the entire field. That's incredible. Checking duplication just real fast. Thinking out loud. Reason I'm looking at is mainly just because I went to it since I haven't looked. When we're looking at like the difference between Creed starting 6th or 9th, Parker starting 14th. That is actually huge. Like that is a situation where like the place differential that Parker offers is way more important, and I would probably prioritize that over Creed straight up. Ideally, you'd want to play both of them together since Parker's 9,000 and Creed is 95. If it's head to head between the two of them, Kligerman is probably the better DFS play. But those would be my thoughts on Creed and or Parker Kligerman. Which I'm pretty sure he already came to that conclusion as well. But I don't think it's that earth shattering, especially when we look at how scoring is going to break down here. We're going to have a lot of people in the 40s and low 40s and high 30s. It's going to these lineups should be pretty close together, and by that I would be prioritizing the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 positions that Kligerman has over Creed. Because let's just test that really fast. Let's say Creed finishes 9th, he holds his position. What is Kligerman's score if he finishes 12th? So let's just look at that. So Kligerman finishes 12th, Creed finishes 9th. Creed's at 35, Kligerman's at 33. Kligerman finishes 11th. He's at 35. Creed is at 35. So it is pretty huge in terms of like how close and the likelihood that Kligerman is out either scoring the same or outscoring Creed. Combine that with the lower salary. Like I said, I'd probably stick to Creed and or play them together if I had to choose. What is it? Sorry, I thought somebody was like messaging me on the Discord. Let's see what else we got here. Where's Green at? So Austin Green, 32. Should be 32 if I'm remembering correctly. Let me just check. Yeah, Green's in the 32. So we're at with Green. If he can maintain the position, that's fine. I think, like, honest to God, I think it's Bullocky and Poole. I think those two are the best value plays. I don't know if my numbers say that. Like, I gave him 24th. So of course that's going to be aggressive. That's going to be like totally just removing him from the pool. I got him like at 16 points. But like why would we not play Poole at like 33? I think Poole is the best value play. That's just my argument. I will probably not get to Austin Green if I'm already playing so many dinglings in the top 12. I don't think I need to really piss away a lineup that could fight with stuff by having Green and starting 22nd when I could just take Poole and not worry about the value screwing me over there. That's my 2 cents there. Lone Star. And yeah, I think SVG does run away. I capped him at 42 laps led, 31 laps or 31 fast laps. Also, with how fast Shane is, we're looking at him half a second faster than the field in pretty much any situation he's in, if not more. Real chance he's pretty much 1-to-1 with laps led in a fast lap. Okay, typically we have seen more and more of the faster cars are not the leader. It's anywhere from like a 2-to-1 to a 3-to-1 ratio to fast laps to laps led nowadays, if you're the leader, or vice versa. You know what I mean? But specifically at road courses, and specifically when somebody's this faster, that's typically a lot closer to like a 1-to-1 to a 1.5 for every lap led equals, a fast lap, or the ratio rather would be. So, I mean, I think SVG runs away with it. That's where I would be at. And he's like the one guy that I'm like, man, do I really want to cap it like 35 or 65? Not have him in 35% of lineups. That'd probably be the safer thing. But I think SVG does run away with this and goes 2 for 2 at these road courses and stuff, especially with how fast he was at Portland. I know, we had a lot of restarts we had to get through, but I mean, SVG was like, he's just flying through this field. It's crazy. He's so much faster than everybody else. If something happens, those are the situations where I'd want to have, certainly more Creed, Allgaier, Hill, Ty Gibbs, and stuff like that. But that's just diversifying. My gut call is Shane runs away with it. That's where I'm at. And I do believe, that I've been here for 35 minutes. That's not too bad. It's a road course. If you want my projections, or you want to support me, or support the work that I do, and or have access to SaberSim at a discount, and or want to have all of Bobby Fi's stuff, and or want all of Sheets' stuff, who wins a lot of money, you can go ahead and join us through the link in the description below. Grab a membership, be on our Discord, check out the premium channels, and get my stuff, projections, at everything in that regard. I think that's going to be it. Tomorrow, be live, 10 a.m. Eastern time. Boris said JJT. Probably not, as I talked about it more out loud, looked at builds, I'm probably going to have less and less of a balanced build. That would typically mean we're landing on Jones, we're landing on Boris said. Just by default nature of that type of build, I'm probably going to be underweight on both those two individual drivers today. I don't think it's going to be hard. I don't think it's going to be a full fade on Jones and or said. I think they're the exact same play, but I think I'm probably going to be underweight to the field on them. Like, I'm talking maybe like 2 or 3 lineups with each of those guys in there. That's probably where I'm at. Anyway, I'll see you guys tomorrow. Best of luck, and yeah, I'm back, dude. I'm just happy to be back. Like I said, it feels like I've been gone for like 2 months, man. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Best of luck.